Hi everyone, it's Maggie, and I'm here to share with you my third and final DT project for the month of June for Craft Supplies for You. And I made this fabric book, and I made it for a particular purpose, but I will do a separate video for that. I started off with my napkins as the base for the pages, and this is the front cover. And let me just kind of, and I also use seam binding to be able to tie it together, but let me open it up here so you see the front and the back. I made this flower out of a gathered trim from my stash, and behind that's a doily, and on top of the linen napkin that I used for the pages is this new embroidered trim. It's a wide trim from Craft Supplies for You. And going around the sides and the top is this white satin and tulle gathered trim, which is also from the store. And then this trim here, it's just a little cotton trim, and that's from my stash. And then the trim that I put around it to just finish it off, this rose trim here with the leaves, is also from Craft Supplies for You. Now the spine is this, this is from my stash, and I guess I'll call it a wide gimp because I don't know what else to call it. And then on top of that, I added this pearl dangle piece, also from KS4U. Okay, now on the bottom, I added, I think it's like 4 different layers of dangle trims. And let's see, this one is from my stash, the top one. But this bottom one is from KS4U. This one here is from my stash. This one here is from my stash. And this one is, it's an old one from KS4U. And then I used this rose trim, and I believe it's from KS4U, but I'm not positive. And I had tea dyed this. Actually, no, sorry, this was avocado dyed. And I just put it across to finish off the bottom, and then I added these 3 applique flowers from my stash. So because this is a book, you're not going to see tons of, you know, things from KS4U, but I have used quite a bit. Okay, so here's the first 2 pages, and they're pocket pages. And this is actually a wide trim from the store. It's an old trim, and I angled it so it doesn't even look like what it really is, if that makes any sense. Here's some more. I think I covered all the pages with that wide embroidered trim that's new in the store. And then I used the 2 pieces of gathered trim for this side. I used the polka dot trim in the store, and then this see-through trim. And then I added this trim from my stash to go over the top of the 2 pockets, and the little tiny, these are those hot fix, I think they're called, little like rhinestone pieces. So I put those in the middle of each one of those little flowers. And then on the side, here's an applique with my acrylic and clay flowers. On this side is a flower applique, and underneath that, this is a piece from an older applique from the store, and I added clay flowers to that. And then the dangles on the bottom, this is from my stash. This one's from the store. This one's from the store. And I think that was, yeah, that's it for these 2 pages. Okay, and I'm sorry I'm not getting it all in frame, but the way my camera's angled, the book is a little bit bigger. Oh, and I finished off with this trim here from my stash. Okay, so the middle 2 pages are image pages. These are the only images you're going to see in this book. And these are adorable little girls. And the only trim I used going around is this trim from my stash. And then I went over it with this little trim here. It's a rosebud trim, also from my stash. Now, going around the images, this trim here is from the store. This rosebud trim's from the store. These appliques are actually a trim that I cut individually from the store. The rhinestones are mine. This flower here is from my stash, as well as this applique underneath, flower applique, and you know, you do, I'm sure, know the loopy flowers are from the store. And then on this side, this dangle here is from KS4U. This is a new flower dangle, lace, and I added my clay flowers and this applique from my stash. And then this is the same trim as on the other side. I kind of, I didn't mirror image, but I did use kind of the same, some of the same trims. And then this applique flower with the pearl is from my stash. And then there's this trim. This one's from my stash. This one is was a KS4U, as well as this one here. And I hope you can see those. Okay. And this one, I'm pretty sure this one's from my stash, but it could be from the store. I just have so many now and I can't keep track anymore. Okay, so the last 2 pages are pocket pages also. Let me just get that out. There's some more of that embroidered trim. I used an eyelet piece from an old curtain for the pockets. And I went around it with this trim here. This is actually a double box pleated trim with lavender going around the edges, but I cut it in half because the double edge trim wasn't going to work. So I cut it in half and I went around. And this rose trim is from KS4U, and I added the clay flowers and the acrylics. This applique here is one of mine, and there's more clay flowers, another rhinestone button. This heart trim is mine, and as well as this trim here, this flower trim that I cut them individually. But Julie is getting these in the store as a trim, you know, by the yard trim. And then this here is from my stash. This is a trim from the store. It's one of those crochet trims, I think. And then I only put those 2 on there because there were quite enough trims from the other pages that when you put it all together, which you'll see, let me do that now, you can see how thick it is. And then you just tie it off. Like that. So that's it. That is my last project for the month of June. And as always, I'll put the 2 store links in the description box. And if you'd like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will be back again soon with another video. And as I said, this was made for a specific reason, and that will go into another video. So I will be back again soon. Bye for now.